They're Britain's most run-down abandoned buildings.
All we've done was bought a building and turned it into a mess.
From crumbling historic relics to industrial landmarks on the verge of collapse.
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
But across the country, brave and ambitious home builders
Careful where I swing.
are taking matters
Let's go!
and tools into their own hands
Are we completely mad doing this?
to rescue
What have I done?
and transform these derelict properties.
Perhaps a cliche to feel the hand of history on your shoulder, but kind of do.
Taking on such neglected places
The roof's leaking, the windows are so rotten.
is fraught with risks,
Easy.
There's no point worrying about something you can't do anything about.
with the tightest deadlines
We'll be in for Christmas. Don't ask me which Christmas.
and even tighter budgets.
We will have completely emptied every bit of savings we have.
These are the families gambling everything
This is the human side of taking on a task like this.
for a new life in a stunning new home.
It's all in your mind and your wallet, and they're both empty.
Near the pretty town of Holmfirth in West Yorkshire, a former place of worship is waiting for a miracle.
OK, let's see what we've got.
And hoping to resurrect this abandoned Methodist chapel are renovation rookies David and Aga.
There's various hymn books and Bibles that have been left around, and some of the memorials.
Having served the local community since 1906, its divine features are a star attraction.
I think we just love the uniqueness of it and the feel of it all, and the stone and the wood.
I love the windows. The windows are really special. We're trying to keep all of that top part of the large window as it is.
We've spoken to quite a few joinery people who are hopefully going to work with us on turning some of the pews into some of the doors and parts of the kitchen.
They've got the building blocks for a unique project that'll be anything but conventional for engineer David and fitness instructor and yoga teacher Aga.
I kind of always knew that it was going to be an upside-down house.
And once we started trying to fit the bedrooms in up there, it was really clear they were just going to be far too small, and we had a lot more space down here.
This place is huge, and every day, David's discovering more of its hidden treasures.
The organ's been here for probably about 100 years. There was a wooden handle here, and it was somebody's job here to pump the organ, like that. So I didn't realise at first there was anything written on these, and it's not till you shine a torch down it that you can see all of the pencil markings here. So there's T.L. Bray in 1932, there's someone here in 1919, there's another one in 1914. Yeah, Mr. Bray features quite a few times throughout here. It's quite interesting to think that all those years ago there were people coming around and just leaving their name here.
They've certainly made an impression. And with the Holmfirth countryside nearby, it's not just the church that David and Aga and children Sophie and Tommy have fallen in love with, whatever the weather.
Right here. This is all on our doorstep on the edge of the Peak District.
Come on, little one. Oh, no, Ronnie! No! Ronnie!
With everyone right at home here, they're determined to breathe new life into this local landmark, but it's not going to come cheap.
We're really hoping that our budget will, in the end, allow us to do all these fancy things, like turning that pulpit into a bathtub.
Interesting. Although that could quickly soak up a few quid. And the church's hefty £270,000 price tag has already maxed out their purchase budget when they snapped it up at auction.
It was our maximum bid, and I just remember having really shaky knees when I got up, because I was aware that if there was another bid placed, we wouldn't have got it. So I got up and I remember saying, "Is there a chair here? I think we just bought a church."
With a renovation budget of £300,000, they've given themselves a deadline of just 10 months, as they're still paying a mortgage on their current home too.
The hope is to have our next Christmas here.
Yeah, everyone likes a Christmas deadline, right?
With a large Christmas tree that we have space for.
Another of those in-by-Christmas couples. Let's see how this one goes. Built Built in 1906 to serve the local village, Brockles Methodist Church was the hub of the community. Despite the passing of time, the church has retained many of its original features, with the impressive tracery window at its heart. These pews were filled by local worshippers for more than a century, until the church finally closed its doors in 2021. David and Aga are planning a complete transformation of this divine space. A glazed entrance will lead to the ground floor sleeping quarters of this upside-down house. Here, the space that housed the original church organ will be transformed into a cosy guest bedroom. And the rest of the ground floor will be made into 2 bedrooms for the children, a luxury wet room and office, and at the far end, Aga and David's spacious master bedroom, complete with ensuite. Upstairs, a newly created mezzanine will open up the living space of this unique home. Beneath the church's original pitch pine beams will be an open-plan lounge and dining area, the perfect comfy space for all the family to relax. And across the suspended bridge, a state-of-the-art kitchen. Down in the basement, the old concrete floor will be dug up and replaced with modern underfloor heating and stylish bamboo flooring, creating a warm, calm space where Aga can practice her yoga. The rest of the time, it'll double up as a cinema room, where all the family can unwind together. Turning all this around in just 10 months could be stretching the realms of reality. But just days later...
Let's go!
They're off.
Way better, Johnny.
That's way better, that. It's spread it out. Like butter, like butter.
Down in the basement, local builder Ben is in high spirits, digging up the concrete floor so they can make this old, cold room a tad more toasty.
She's having underfloor heating, so we've had to go 450 millimetres deep so she can get the underlaying, the concrete in, and the hard stone, and then obviously the underfloor heating. We're going to have to make sure the whole floor is level all the way through, and then everything's prepared and set for when we do a pour for the concrete. So we have to take this all up, but yeah, I'm happy to make sure that the customer's happy, and if I get a sweat on, fair enough.
I'm sure the hard graft will be worth it, Ben.
I'm happy to do whatever it takes in places like this, because to hold on to history, it's beautiful in my eyes.
The following month, and the sound of pneumatic drilling is replaced by ecclesiastical melodies.
I just put a little post on Instagram saying that if anyone's interested in hearing the organ for the last time, they're welcome to come, but we haven't had any responses. So we thought maybe 1 or 2 people will show up. And there are a few more than one or 2.
That's quite the audience, expecting a show.
Hi, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you going to live here?
Yes, eventually we will, yes.
Musician Andreas has travelled over 700 miles from Germany to buy the century-old organ, but not before it's dusted off for one last recital.
We're really happy that it's being rehomed, and I think these guys will be glad to know that as well.
But Andreas has spotted a problem.
It's too wet here.
During the summer, it played beautifully. Every key worked. We checked every key and every stop, and now it's just...
Like this, it's only less wind.
Okay, it's just the humidity causing this?
Yeah. It's humidity. Difficult.
Yeah.
If they can't get it to work, this eager congregation could be in for a long and silent night.
Ah.
Please. My God. The humidity is a catastrophe.
In In the Yorkshire village of Brockholes, David and Aga's big event is still looking like just a pipe dream.
The humidity has caused such swelling in the wood that bits of it aren't working at all.
Andreas, a musician from Germany, thought he'd bagged himself a bargain with the purchase of this piece of history. But so far, it's not striking the right chord.
Inside it's cold in the church, and then
you get the humidity.
I think it's from the sun.
We listed it for sale 6 months ago.
Yes, we did. And we're not organ experts.
And we're not organ experts.
Turns out.
No. So who knew? And there's quite a few people, I think.
Yes.
Local parishioners have gathered to hear the pipes of this historic organ play out one last time.
Fingers crossed now that it actually works.
Finally, the organ hits all the right notes.
It's just great to see so many people coming. Lots of people have popped in as we've been doing things and asked about the organ and the plans we have here. And thank you to Andreas and his team and to the brilliant organist for that show this morning.
It's an emotional end of an era for this much-loved church. It's now down to David and Aga to do both the building and the community proud.
When I found out it was going to be a family home, well, me and the other congregation, we all were elated because we didn't know what was going to happen. It could have been a carpet warehouse or, well, the mind boggles.
Local worshipper Barbara has been a regular here for 78 years, and she's almost as excited about the project as Aga, so long as they don't roll out any carpets.
I just see what you're doing and how much you love it, and I'm so grateful that you're doing it, and I hope you'll be very happy here, all of you. I wish you every success, my love. Come here.
It's a symbol of a new era starting. We're actually doing it now. There's no going back.
Over the next few weeks, the organ is dismantled and shipped off to Germany. But it's not the only thing being ripped out.
So this concrete floor, we couldn't prove the structure and integrity of it. And I guess with things like this, where there's doubt, there's no doubt, and it had to come out.
And by the end of March, it's less out with the old and more in with the new.
Yeah. When it makes that constant noise, that means it's level.
Local builder Tom is paving the way in the basement, preparing the floors for the concrete pour.
Once we get this in and level, it gives us a level playing field to work off everywhere else, so we can get the kingspan in, taped up, jointed, and then get the plumbers in doing the underfloor heating. How are we doing?
Pumped with excitement, engineer David can't resist a sneaky peek.
Just nip down on my lunch break, take a late lunch and run back. Everyone imagines when I say I've got an appointment that I'm off to see the dentist, but there's a bit more to it than that.
No tooth extractions for David today, just a super-sized filling for the floor.
Yeah, exciting day. Good to see you. Oh, here we go. Coming through now. Starts to take shape inside then.
24 tonnes of concrete is needed to fill the vast space that will eventually become a cinema room and yoga studio for Aga.
Oh. Yeah, you're pretty good at that, aren't we?
It might be a while before it's downward dog ready, but so far so good. Although David isn't feeling quite so zen about the hard graft needed to make this place a home.
We were well aware of how much work was going to be done, but when you actually see the team of people and how long they've worked to get to this point, I think a year is quite tight, so we'll see how we go. But every project is supposed to be finished by Christmas.
Ah, that old chestnut. A month later, with the concrete all set, things are hotting up.
So all of these white pipes here carry the hot water from the central heating system and provide the underfloor heating. It's a really nice landmark, is this, because suddenly we're going to have what looks like a habitable space.
But paying out for 2 properties is weighing heavy on the wallet, so David has roped in his dad Alan to lend a hand removing the old church pews upstairs.
They've been here a few decades, and certainly the screws nearest the wall have got a bit rusty, which makes them difficult to shift. I like to do a bit of woodwork in my spare time, and I hate to see wood thrown away. I'll never pass a skip without just seeing if there's a decent bit of wood in it. So I was all for dismantling the pews and see what we could do with the wood.
I'm sure all that'll come in useful one day.
Oh, stiff. Good. And that's what I call a screw. These jobs always take far longer than you think they're going to. The last one. It's the last screw, so
The back will fall off.
If it falls to pieces, mind your toes.
Told you.
I'm not sure that's how it's meant to be done. Thankfully, the professionals below have avoided any disasters with the new floor.
Like a measured, that, innit?
It was perfectly measured. Precision, we like that.
Builder's going to leave it for a week, and then they're going to come in and start to put in their stud work. And yeah, the rooms will start to take shape.
Five months in, and excitement on site has hit fever pitch. And David's steeling himself for another transformational day at the church.
Today's a big day. They are starting to prepare to put the main steel work in. It's really exciting. There's loads of work that kind of hinges around getting that bit of structure in place.
To give them that upside-down living, they need to add an upstairs. These steels are vital in ensuring this century-old structure doesn't come crumbling down under the weight of a new floor.
The brackets that they're putting up now go on the walls either side, and then your main steelwork sits on top of the brackets, and the brackets bolt into the wall all the way down, and it just spreads the load out on each side. It's another of those jobs I'm glad that I'm not doing.
I don't blame you, David. Thankfully, he's got local steel engineer Gordon doing it instead.
Bits of steels are my game to drawing. Definitely, you can't just draw it on a computer and expect it to be right. But everything's got to be bespoke. Lots of problems, but you overcome them.
Probably one of the biggest decisions we made early on in this was to not have the floor cutting through the windows. And if you move your floor up, then you've got to take your beams out. And if you want to take your beams out, you've got to put more steel in. And if you put more steel in, then you've got to put more floor steel in to support the steel for all the loads. And so everything kind of knocks on and knocks on. And the cost of doing all of that was significant. We estimate it might be about £10,000. It's just nervous at the minute, just with the finances.
That's a huge dent in their already tight budget, which could throw them off course if they can't find a way to claw it back.
Cartridge out.
But for now, engineer David is in his element.
Walk it over.
You've got the sides of these stone reveals for the windows, and we didn't want to have to cut into these too much. So to have the fixings here and here makes it all much more narrow. So I think this is a much better way of doing it that preserves the integrity of some of the features. We've got one eye on what we're doing and then also just the building itself that, I mean, it's been up for 120 years and hopefully it'll be up for another 100 years.
That's on it. That's definitely on it.
Fortunately, Gordon is a measure twice, cut once type of guy.
Needs accurately measuring. That's what you do. That's what we do. Ray, is it touching the end of that beam there?
No.
Right. Does that bottom need to go to the left? We're happy with that in position. Mark it through, take it back down, drill the hole, drill the wall, and then fix it in. Ray?
That looks like proper thirsty work, Gordon. It must be time for a brew.
In a dusty atmosphere, you've got to have a regular cup of tea. Absolutely. So we use no teaspoon. Steel ruler does a multitude of jobs. Accurate pot of tea stirrer, a steel ruler. Sorted.
Let's hope the measurement of these beams are just as precise.
I'm being more cautious and more careful than ever. That were all right, that one, yeah. That was a good one.
Top job. After months of hard graft, by the end of the summer, things are looking up.
Great to be finally up here. I mean, it's been so long where we've been looking at this from downstairs, and now just be able to walk around freely like this is great.
But David's also detected an unexpected house guest.
There's a crawl board that goes between, so I went down trying to fill in the little holes, and then this squirrel kind of runs in there. It was pretty unhappy that I'd broken into his house. So since then, we've been on squirrel watch. At the minute, the squirrel's winning, but he does have to go.
An errant squirrel is the least of his worries. Trying to ensure the project comes in on time and on budget is starting to take its toll.
We really want to get this done as soon as we can. We've got a lot of finance that we're paying for, so we've really just got to keep pushing. But yeah, it's not always that easy to persuade yourself to come here and carry on working.
Just outside the Yorkshire town of Holmfirth, David and Aga are on a path of discovery as they strip back the layers of this former Methodist church.
So this woodland came with the property when we bought it. We didn't know at first that we had a lot of this, so it was a really nice surprise to find out when we were going through the deeds with the solicitor that we actually had this little bit of land. No one had really touched it for decades. Some nice logs from that. And crucially, I've got a wood supply for about the next 5 years.
Your Christmas deadline is just 3 months away, so you might want to turn your hand to more pressing stuff, David. Like that cheeky Space Invader.
So this is where my squirrel's been coming in. He's been running up this tree and running across and then going along the ridge and going into one of the holes up there. So at the weekend, we've cut these branches down to try and stop him jumping across.
Over the autumn, squirrel watch continues.
There's a couple of vents up in the roof down here. So we've got some mesh to fit into those. That's safe enough.
Try and make it all this squirrel-proof.
And the church floor starts to take shape.
Where is your bedroom? Here. So getting all this decked out, and then we start to put insulation in, build bits around on the walls, and starts to look a lot more like a house.
Kind of. Best to just nod and agree, Tommy. With a looming Christmas deadline, they pick up the pace.
So today, we're going to be putting the floor in.
Once that is done, we can then start to move all the stuff that we've piled over that end back down here. So it's all been a big game of Tetris so far, really.
And now it's becoming a bit of a balancing act.
You may want to stay down there for now.
What?
Risk of rolling stone.
Okay.
Not bad, not bad, not bad at all.
But as they roll into December, their planned moving-in date, there's no sign of a Christmas miracle.
There are always times when it's all gets a bit much and you just wish you hadn't bought it. It's just the enormity of it. You just keep solving the problems and keep moving on until there aren't any left. We'll be in for Christmas. Yeah. Don't ask me which Christmas.
This Christmas. But for now, the closest they'll get to a finished church is to bake one.
It's the same, isn't it? It's just a slightly bigger recipe.
And a little bit more messy.
Luckily, they still have a roof over their heads, but the longer they're paying the mortgage on this house, the tighter their budget gets.
I was looking forward to the island in the kitchen, or just having a big kitchen. Look how beautiful that is.
I mean, I'm just practicing my rendering skills. Will I be able to use those?
Yep, definitely.
It might help to keep those spiralling costs down, Aga.
That's it. It's the Holes Methodist Church.
Let's go and see the holes.
Ooh.
Ta-da!
Come the new year, Aga is lending a bit of muscle on site.
I've come to give it a go. Easy. What a shame I have to go to work. Okay, I feel like I've helped.
As the plant room is dug out, Aga's unearthing some wild ideas of her own.
Do you think that we should make a plunge pool instead of...
Yeah.
What is it, utility? It's just such a perfect plunge pool, isn't it?
As long as you're not the one having to dig it out, yeah.
We could make a chute out of the kitchen
into the plunge pool. Okay.
I can see this budget sliding out of control. Whilst the couple ponder on those thoughts, outside, the windows are going in. Bespoke modern wooden frames have been crafted to fit the 6 original side window openings.
All this glass will come out so that it lets the light through, otherwise it'll be really dark in there. We might keep the bits that are behind that. There's no point in having a church if you get rid of all the church features. So yeah, we wanted to keep all the stone.
Made from Akoya and costing around £2,500 per window, for fitters Anthony and Simon, it's a rare treat to be working on them.
It's the Rolls Royce of timber. You could put a piece in the ground for 10 years and pull it out and it'd look exactly the same. It doesn't move, it doesn't shrink. It's really, really good gear.
But these aren't the only windows going in. 2 weeks later, they're punching through the historic tiled roof
This bottom corner up
to fit the first of 6 bespoke roof lights.
It's great to get to this stage. It's nice to be able to stop and actually look at how far you've come with these things and look at the bits that have been done and appreciate them. But it's certainly a big thing to move the project on, another chunk, and make it look a lot more like a home and a bit less like a church.
But just as they edge one step closer to moving in, they're dealt a huge blow.
Sometime Saturday night, early Sunday morning, somebody's come and taken this stone from the rubble pile around the back there and thrown it against the window, so it smashed the outer pane.
These windows have only been in a week.
Yeah, just really sad. It's a lot of time and effort goes into all of this, and you know, we don't really have the money that we would ideally have for the whole project, and we could just really do without something like this. Yeah, it's quite depressing.
Already over their original schedule, each setback is now costing them both time and money.
Most self-build mortgages are on variable or tracker rates. So yeah, we're tracking the bank base rate. So each time the rates go up, ours goes up as well. So we're paying for where we're currently living and then we're paying the interest on this. So we just need to get as far as we can until the money runs out.
Wow, there's a view.
In the Yorkshire village of Brockholes, things are looking up for church converters David and Aga.
Yeah, there is. It's about to go into spring and green, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be really good.
6 side windows have been given a modern facelift and 6 brand new roof lights have been added to the church's pitched roof, giving them views across the valley.
Oh, woodland. And if we look close enough, we may be able to see our own squirrel. It's good to have the windows because now we can see where we need a bit more light. It's so cool to be planning lights, isn't it? It feels so far away though, but
yeah,
this is it. Like, this is the bit where you have to plan all the lights. It's crazy.
All this talk of finishing touches has got the couple thinking about that moving in date.
Yeah, confident with it. It's a bit better now, I think, moving into spring and we're out of some of the grim winter days. We just need to carry on with this, get the next stage signed off.
Sorry, can I get a little bit of commitment here? You're confident with what, exactly?
Well, we'll finish it in the end.
In the end is not really commitment.
And ask the end of what?
The end of what?
Yeah, this year.
Dates, David, dates.
Middle of the year, maybe.
So, June?
Yeah, aim for June. We'll see.
Right, June moving in?
Yes.
Right, good. That's a good time to move in the summer.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Blimey, you're not totally convincing me there, David. And June is just 4 months away. But a house is not a home without a front door, so David has drafted in stonemason Alan to expertly remove this 100-year-old stone to make way for a new entrance. Even better, he's doing it for free in exchange for the stone from the altar steps.
We are very aware that there's lots of costs still to come. Just trying to do whatever we can to keep the stuff down as we go through it.
We're going to have to remove these stones here so we can drop this inside a windowsill. And then once we've got that removed, then we'll go over there and do the opposite.
But when you're dealing with walls as old as these, anything can happen.
So the risk is that things start to kind of drop and fall apart as we take these big supports out. So we've no idea how strong the mortar and everything's going to be in the wall as it comes out. So it's a bit of a sort of game of historical Jenga.
Got that one?
Yep.
It's not a game I fancy playing, David.
We have the whole weight of the building on here, and what we do is we just give it a quick crack. Do you see it's just dropped onto the forks there now? This bit is loose, so when I drop the forks slightly, this part of the building is going to come down.
The plan is that the glass will hold all of the steel tracery parts in and these 2 mullions, and it'll all just kind of stay because it's all held in together. That's great in theory until you start to take stuff out.
One wrong move and this whole section of century-old glass could come crashing down.
If anything starts moving, scream. Is that loose, David?
Yeah, it is.
Right, I'm lowering down.
Yeah, we're clear.
The first lintel is removed, but there's one more to come out.
We'll knock one of these out to you, David.
Yeah, it's coming. All right, got it.
Yep. 100-year-old wall tie. There she goes. Just you tell me when we...
Yeah, we're good.
Just 2 pieces holding this lot now.
Yep. This is the slightly nerve-wracking bit. Yeah, it's dropped.
With a bit more jiggery-pokery...
Everybody clear?
Clear.
The old stone is out, and more importantly, everything else is still standing.
Well, David, are you happy with that?
Yeah, it was spot on.
Very pleased, personally.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks later, children Sophie and Tommy have come to check out the progress.
Ta-da! Whoa! House. So this will be you getting ready for school, and this will be your bus arriving, and this will be you opening the window and shouting to the bus driver, wait! Just gonna finish my hair.
For Tommy, the new first floor is a real revelation.
I've not seen this. Whoa. Whoa. This is new. I like this.
And whilst they're here, it's all hands on deck.
So today's job, taking these beams out.
With all the new steelwork in place and supporting the mezzanine floors, these solid timbers can now be removed to create some headspace.
1, 2, I mean, there's another one, but they'll all be gone today. So ducking no more.
These beams once held up the whole roof. Are you sure you shouldn't be leaving this one to the professionals, guys? I guess not.
Oh, I missed that quite spectacularly.
With David missing the mark, it's down to the others to show him how it's done.
Yeah, that's good. We're through.
What do they say? Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, I think that was a success.
You call it a success, I call it a historic moment.
A historic moment.
But it's not all hard work and no play.
No beam, space, finally. Ow, did I whack you on the head?
Fun and games over, it's time to remove those last 2 beams.
You have it.
You have it, we have it. OK.
And finally, the true scale of the upstairs floor is revealed in all its glory.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. You're actually going to be in your kitchen, like this will be the kitchen table, and you'll be eating your breakfast, and you'll see that there.
Super cool.
Over the next few weeks, there's no rest for the wicked as new panes are fitted to let in the light. The micro cement goes down, the insulation goes up, and the paint finally goes on. "20 months on, and Aga and David still have work to do, but they've given this once run-down old church an incredible facelift.
Feels really good to have come this far, and the building's changed massively, and it's pretty much a home now.
It's been challenging, but a great adventure. And it gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling of a home that we built with our own hands.
Yes.
And inside their newly created entrance lies a stunning family home that effortlessly combines the old with the new.
This area is just to have the kind of the full height wow of the church, and you just immediately get this amazing arc curving round here.
You really get the sense of, I'm in a church building, but it's a modern home at the same time, and that's what we wanted to achieve.
Yeah, it's amazing to be in this space now. I guess I see the jobs list that is behind it, but what's to do is, I guess, shorter than what we've done, so yeah, there's some positives there.
That stairway to heaven is still on the to-do list, but the brand new mezzanine in their upside-down house is already a joy to behold.
Our favourite space.
And I can see why. That once redundant space up in the gods has been transformed into a supersized, stylish living area, framed by those glorious windows.
I think we wanted this open plan up here just to let the light come in, to let everything flow through. And with the bridge linking the mezzanines there and the big feature window at that end, it just gives you that kind of that view all the way through. So we wanted to keep it fairly open and light.
It used to be completely dark.
It did used to be completely dark up here, yeah. And then as soon as this got replaced with clear glass, you just have this lovely now afternoon light coming through.
Aga's bespoke contemporary sofas are like a warm embrace, softening the edges of this century-old home.
The curves which we see in the window and in the sofas and chairs, we just wanted it all to flow, and I think it flows really well.
I think we just look forward to ours now, being able to lounge on our sofas and enjoy the views.
Ultimately, the kitchen and lounge will be connected with a modern glass-sided bridge.
It's a very unique design. Everyone likes having a bridge in their house. My mum won't go across it until the handrails are installed.
I think I'm with your mum on that one, David. Back on the ground floor, the room that once housed that much-loved organ is on its way to becoming a cosy snug. The church pews cleverly repurposed as wall panels to retain that ecclesiastical vibe.
We just wanted it to feel completely different from the rest of the house, almost walking into a different world.
Yes.
Cosy and dark and lush.
Really like the panelling and the radiator and the way we've got it set out, so it's going to be really nice when it's done.
The church's DNA is embedded in the fabric of this building. Its traditional features inspiring some of the modern touches too.
And we just really liked the idea that rather than having this kind of square, almost hotel-like corridor with all the bedrooms coming off, that we could put these arches in and just make it look a bit more architectural, make a bit more of a feature there. Breaks it up a bit. The plasterer just said, yeah, I'll do that. Between them, they just made them. Did them in a day.
Shh, they're old. They've always been here. Original feature.
The downstairs rooms are shaping up nicely, but until the couple sell their existing home, money is tight.
We spent £270,000 on the church.
We got a self-build mortgage for £300,000. In terms of overspend, there's probably maybe another £30,000 on top of that. Be about £630,000, I think, all in.
In the current climate, £30,000 is a modest overspend, but the biggest cost has been time.
I guess a lot of the work took longer than it could have done because of the way we've done it, and we've tried to preserve the original features, and it's those things that have just taken us so much longer than we expected.
But I feel like it's not just money. We took a long time over certain things to decide because we wanted it to be right.
But looking at what they've achieved, I reckon the pain has been worth the gain.
Yes, it's been worth it. We could not afford to buy a house like this, and so we've made one instead.
They might not be in yet, but at least the kitchen is. So that's something to celebrate with teenagers Sophie and Tommy.
Right, well, we've come a really long way, and we are almost in.
I can't believe we actually got this far. Like at the beginning, I kind of didn't imagine it happening. Like you were saying, oh, we're gonna live in a church, and I was like, yeah, right.
This ambitious project has been a huge learning curve for Aga and David, who have invested so much more than money.
There have been hard times when I was unsure whether we would be able to finish it, and I think he held it all together. I'm just really proud of him for being able to continue at that pace and with that patience for so long. It takes a special sort of guy to do that.
Immensely proud of Aga and the vision that she's been able to have for this and the end result that we've achieved. And to have her there doing it with me has just meant the world to me.
As for that ever-present Christmas deadline...
Hopefully for this Christmas.
We'll just be in when we're in.
Yes.
And we'll enjoy it, even if it's not Christmas.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers.